I don't know what I'm
Starting,
doing.
starting, starting, and we are live, everybody. Cut and clean lawn care here. For all the people waiting. Cool. I'm glad you were in here the whole time. I'm with John Pajak from Turf Tamer Lawn Care. John, go ahead and tell everybody where they can reach you at if they feel the need.
You can find me on the Facebook and Snapchat.
Facebook
Uh,
and Snapchat.
yeah, Snapchat's been the go-to way to find people, or not not to find people, but uh to speed up my life. When
Really?
people snap me, it's a lot easier to deal it with it that way.
I mean, I was on the Snapchat thing for a while and just kind of fell off. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
it's kind of right the way things are going right now. I think it's gonna kill itself because the new update that they just put out. Not a lot of
Yeah.
people like it, but most of the time you guys can find me in the Facebook groups. Anything associated with lawn and landscaping. Uh, the YardBook users group, Lawn Digest, Grass Assassins, and many other favor. A lot of most of the most popular ones you'll be able to find me in. So
Yeah, and he'll go live in those often. I catch him on there every now and
yeah.
then going live and stuff. So if you guys want to check him out there. But yeah, dude, I definitely agree with you on Snapchat, man. That new update's kind of even not like when it wasn't. I have so many
Mhm.
friends on there. It's like I can't watch all those stuff when people post them all. I'd be on
Oh
there all
yeah,
night.
no, it's difficult to watch everybody's story. And like
Right.
most of the time when I do a story on Snapchat, I try to be like, 10 snaps or less now. So it's like a minute, 2 minutes of my antics, and then I'm done for the day. So that
Heck
way
yeah.
everybody can kind of watch everything. But
I was gonna say I
you
don't know
know,
if you do have it or not, but feel free to go to the YouTube and pull up the chat if you want to. If not, I can always ask stuff for you.
oh,
Grass
I
nectar.
got it playing on another
Oh,
computer
there you go.
back here. So
Grass nectar's in the house. Some
what's
dude says
up,
he's
Grass Nectar?
excited for me in a Speedo tonight. So I don't know if that's going down, but
Custom cuts debated on the Snapchat, never used it. Don't get yourself wound up in it, man. Unless you know people, don't worry about Snapchat. Invest your time in Instagram and YouTube
right.
and stuff like that. Um, when it comes to social media, honestly, I'm a lot of guys that, especially in our circle, are finding a lot of great results with Instagram, and not only for exposure to kind of let people know who they are, but they're also able to use it for their business to really help promote and support their business. Because
Oh, absolutely.
with Instagram, you could transfer right to Facebook. If you're running Facebook ads and things like that, you could integrate everything seamlessly. So, the hell's that?
I think my dryer's done.
Oh, well, did you put the
Either
Downy
that or
sheet?
someone just hit someone with a taser.
Yeah, did you put the dryer sheet in there? Or
Yeah, I got like 6 of them in there.
okay, good to
Sometimes I just
know.
throw the whole cardboard box and everything.
But that's the best because then you don't
But
have
what do
to
you
take
think?
them out.
Let's say, but what do you think? Like we're talking Snapchat, Instagram, other
Mhm.
social media platforms. I've gotten business from Instagram. I've gotten business from Facebook. I've gotten a little bit of business from YouTube. I've never
Yeah.
seen a thing from Snapchat. I just don't think
No,
that's good angle for business. But it's if you just want to BS with your friends, I think it's a great platform.
yeah, Andy, you and I both know that the group thing is probably the best um, feature on
Yeah,
Snapchat, and
yeah, for sure.
it's not to share stupid filters and whatnot. You could actually really talk efficiently with and share ideas efficiently with Snapchat because it limits you. And if you're as long as you don't ramble on, you can get a message, a nice little tight package put together uh, within 6 to 10 snaps and get your message across and share it with everybody. And even that becomes time
What's that
consuming.
noise?
I really
What is
don't
that?
know. I'm sitting here. I'm like, got my EMF detector here. Is it this can of beer here?
You might need one.
I don't
You got an
know.
EMF detector?
Yeah,
You
your
hunting
phone has
ghosts?
one built in it.
Oh, probably.
So I mean, it's
Dandelion and maintenance says he spends way too much time on YouTube.
yeah, guys. It's I'll tell you what. One thing that I am looking at right now is really limiting the time I spend on social media. because I find it. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy socializing. I really do. I'm a social person, but it gets to the point where it takes so much time away from more important things. You know, if you got time to kill, dude, go nuts and get on as many platforms as you can. You'll be
Right.
real popular. You'll have a lot of friends, but when it comes to trying to get stuff done, man, uh, social media will kill it, and it'll prevent you from, like, if you're trying to grow your business. For the guys that are watching this, a lot of them I think are probably either trying to grow their business or just trying to see what other people are doing in the industry. Uh, Social media could be a total time suck.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's why I spend most of my time in groups where I'm either mentoring somebody or answering questions. And I mean, Andy, you've called me a few times just for YardBook stuff.
Oh yeah.
You've got my number. Don't give that one out because it's my personal number.
It's down in the description actually, guys.
I know. I kind of saw that, so I'm like, well, I guess it's not too late to switch to Sprint now. I guess I'll just have to get a new phone.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to social media, I spend all my time engaging myself on social media. I really don't spend that much time watching it and going through like everyone's photos they're posting or every subscription I have because man, I got so much stuff on there. But as a lot of people know, I've built my business 100% off social media. I've never put up a door flyer. I've never, knocked on doors or nothing. It's just what I do and what I know. And I've always been pretty good at it.
Good, good, man. Good for you, man.
It's all
Because
about learning. It's all about research because people always talk about, well, how do you get on, how do you get your business rankings on Google number one or
Mhm.
your Google business thing? Dude, you just get out there and you learn it. You get on YouTube and learn what people
Right,
are doing. I treat my Google business just like Instagram. I am constantly posting on it. And that's why I'm number one in my area.
yeah,
Because Google recognizes that stuff. They want the engagement. They want the words.
yeah,
So if you're not, you're kind of losing out.
absolutely. If you want, that's one of the more important things. I mean, don't get me wrong. Having a good website is empirical.
Oh
I
yeah, and
mean,
shout out to Ring a Ding because he just built
Ring,
mine this
yeah.
year, and I'm
Oh, and
hoping it
hey,
does awesome.
let me see here. I got the original Ring a Ding Hattie
There you
here,
go.
and then let's see this one. Here we go. That's the one I was wearing most of the
Grinding.
winter because we were grinding.
There you go.
But
Because that was my biggest downfall too. Because I built my own website,
yeah.
and I thought I did pretty good, but I didn't pay attention to a lot of the domain stuff. I did a
Oh, dude.
WordPress.com instead of a WordPress.org, so people thought I was a blog more than a website, and I didn't focus on SEO as much on the website. So I'm like, I don't have that much time to spend just focusing on this website because I have so much other stuff I'm interested in doing. I'm like, Ring, help me out, brother.
Yeah. Ring he doesn't do my website, and if
Yeah.
people look at it, they could tell because it's just me. Mine's currently going under an overhaul, which
Okay.
it's been doing for a while. I keep running out of time because I keep going on social media. Um, but anyhow, the thing I was going to say before we got caught up with Ring was, uh, you could have a really good website, but a lot of times when people search, especially on Google, if you show up in the maps, you got the paid advertisements up top, and
Yep.
then you got the maps. And if you're like anywhere in those maps, I get so many calls just from that
Yep. I'm
because I
number one
rank.
on those maps right now.
Yeah, I rank number one in my area for on the map. As long as you're in there, um, people just sometimes just call you straight up. They don't want to look at the website. They're just like, oh, we're just going to call the long guy. You
Right.
know, some people are like that. And then the organic listing underneath is important. And the higher
I
the
think it's
ranking.
all I was gonna say I think that's all pretty much the most important thing people can do right now. Because how
Yeah,
many I mean the people are out there putting out 15,000 flyers. I don't remember ever in my life going, man, the heater just broke. Babe, can you grab that flyer I saved? Nobody saves that stuff anymore. You get on
no,
Google, you type in repair, dishwasher and find the first thing that comes up.
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still sending out EDMs and everything.
Yeah.
I'm specifically targeting areas that are new to me and like very, very specific areas. And then once we're out on a lawn, we do. We'll put the postcards and everything on door hangers, hang them on the doors and everything. I got like instead of just having like a door hanger, I use a postcard that I uh, also double as a door hanger. So instead of just having like five, instead of having like three or four different pieces of print material,
Right.
I'm focusing on like one type of material that could be used many different ways to bring down the cost, because it doesn't talk much about, or it doesn't cost much to have the website and have a Google listing, but it it costs a lot of money to do an effective print marketing
Yeah, it
campaign.
does. And what do you think about ADM? Do you think you're getting out of it for, I mean, I don't know if it's all the same for everybody. I hear it's expensive. A lot of people tell me it's kind of expensive for what you get back out of it, but
I don't, I kind of threw. I'll share with you. I spent about 6 grand so far
yeah.
this season, and
But if you
it
get like
that
4 clients, you're going to make that 6 grand back, obviously. But it's like,
right,
what do you think the
and that
percentage is?
it's like it didn't all go out all at once, but spending 6 grand at this time of the year when money
Yeah,
isn't really coming in,
that's
it, it
tough.
it's kind of rough, and it's like butt bucker time. You're
Oh,
really
yeah.
kind of.
Because I can tell you right now, I don't have any money to spend on advertising at all.
I Neither
I
did
am
I.
broke, dude.
Honest to God, I did not really have that money to spend. I had it, but it wasn't really like we've had some financial
Oh, yeah.
we've had some hangups, and it's like, oh God, I'm kind of going all in to spend on this to try to get get the stir the bee's nest a bit.
Oh, yeah. And for a lot of you guys that don't know, John's just like me. We're both dads. We have a family, we have a wife, we have all this stuff going on. And from the research I was doing, from talking to different people, like, what do I need to do for winter? This is my first full time year in business, set aside, blah, blah, blah. And I had it mapped out for what I thought. But obviously, you don't plan on these, unexpected things, or there's something you always miss, which is a good learning process instead of just research and stuff. You kind of have to, like, that's why I called it in one of my videos, you have to fail to succeed. Because once you learn that, you know what to do for next year. You know what to do for the year after that. So you got to go through the struggles to actually succeed.
Yeah, that's I could agree with that. You can't foresee medical expenses popping up.
No.
Even and nowadays, with the way that a lot of insurances are set up, I don't have another job. I don't have anything to fall back on.
Right.
So every single thing. It's not like oh, I work for a company that provides insurance. It's like, no, I am the insurance provider. And
Yeah.
nowadays with the high deductibles and things, it's ridiculous. You're spending like 8, 9, 10 grand before out of pocket before your
Yeah.
insurance starts kicking in, and that's kind of what happened to us this year. So yeah, for those guys that are thinking, like, if we're going to go back to basics in a sense,
Yeah.
for the guys that are thinking about getting into this, and you're like, I just hate my job and I'm just going to go do this, you can do that. But
Yeah.
if you I would kind of suggest, like, make sure you got some of your stuff together. You got enough accounts together before you jump ship, because once you jump, there might not be that life raft around. You
Yeah.
might drown. So
Yeah. Because you can never plan the unexpected at all.
no. And I mean, I would definitely suggest having an emergency fund built up, uh, like 3 to 6 months of expenses before you. Not to say like you before you start your own business, but for me, I made sure I had a really big buffer before I did everything full time. Actually, it just kind of we don't need to talk about the origin story. We could talk
Doesn't want
about
to get
that
all.
later.
He doesn't want to get all into it right now.
I don't want to get all into it right now.
But yeah, like when I say I made the jump because I knew it would be okay. If something else came up, I knew I'd be fine going and getting a job doing something else. Like I said, my wife made more than enough money for us to totally do everything we need to do, and she has great insurance through her job. So luckily, I was in a position where I could take that leap. And a lot of people don't think about that stuff. They don't think about insurance. They don't think about all these other costs and things like that. And you have to do the brain work before you take the leap. I know how it is, dude. I know how it is to have a crappy job that you hate and can't stand going there, because I was there. I was there for a long
Yeah,
time. But just make sure you have all your stuff in order before you're like, all right, I'm done. I'm done with this place.
exactly. Let's see, Lucas Lawns, Wisconsin. John, do you go right to the through the post office, or does your printer take care of the mailing aspect? I take care of the mailing right now, so I send it through the post office. There's certain this is an EDM question, so I just figured we'd check out the stuff real quick. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to dismiss your. You had some extremely valid topics there, but I just happened to look up and see that the
Oh, you're good.
the
I
chat was going nuts.
Yeah, I like to try to engage the chat as much as possible.
Yeah. Um, but like I said, right now, like I do all the mailing. I know where I want to go. I know where these things should go. So I do it through the post office. But I give them my mailing list. I don't buy a list and then have them send it. It's a little bit more expensive, but um, I think it's like
Worth it.
20. It's worth it because it's like I'm doing the lawns I want to do, not I'm looking at I know what the demographics are because I'm a total geek about that type of thing. I researched the demographic of a neighborhood that I want to go into, and I kind of stalk that thing. So it's like, you know, you got to use all the resources you have available to you to try to get in where you want to get in.
Oh
So,
yeah, for sure.
but custom cuts, paid 4 cents per postcard, ordered 20,000, which I'm going to hand deliver in newspaper boxes, hoping at least a 0.5% return.
Mm.
I think the 0.5% is probably what you will get with hand delivering them. If you were going to put like a 1 to 2%, that would have to be like you're sending out multiple pieces over and over to the same people in a pretty big area, and then you could probably expect like a maybe a 2% return.
Yeah. And I'm not ready to spread myself out that much yet. Like I'm
No.
still trying to just being an owner operator. I have no
Hmm.
help, no employees. I want to be as tight as possible.
Yeah, and that's the key is that's the reason why I'm going for specific neighborhoods
Exactly.
because I'm just trying to build that neighborhood. I
Because I'll
don't.
see sometimes, man, I'll get like tree service stuff in the mail from like Olathe, Kansas, which is like an hour and a half away. It's
Right.
like, why am I getting this in the mail? Who's doing this stuff? Like crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty rough when I see the same thing. It's like in because I live very close to. I'm on the Illinois Indiana border on the Indiana side. And I get stuff from Illinois all the time. They're like, "Yeah, we're the Chicagoland region."
Right.
It's like, what the hell are
Yeah.
you coming down here for? You know,
We got a is mow your yard in jail. I do not work for the Department of Corrections. That would be something you would have to go check on. I
you
don't
could
like
probably,
talking about people's personal business in my
yeah.
streams here because man, it's none of my business. That's for
Well,
someone else to deal with.
we could. Oh, Gem Lawn Care. That's Zach. He's a good guy.
What's
He
going
says,
on,
"What
Zach?
what are you posting to Google to get your place higher on the maps? If you keep your Zach, if you keep your pictures updated, you keep your contact information updated, Google sees that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, hey, it's not like keywords and everything. It's just like
No,
more
they like
interaction.
activity. They like activity.
Yeah, they
It's
want to see fresh material.
I was going to say, and that's not just for Google business. That's for anyone wanting to be successful on Instagram, anyone wanting to be successful on YouTube. It's constant posting, constant content. Stay in everyone's eyes. They won't forget you. Google will also forget you if you're not constantly doing something.
Absolutely, and you know, I know originally we're mostly going to, you wanted to pick my brain about YardBook and things
Oh,
like
we're
that,
going to
but
talk
this
about all kinds of stuff.
we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, but this is actually easy and important to do. If you got a picture, now guys, remember, you think you got all this footage like while you're mowing and everything, or while you're, any kind of project that you're doing. If you're doing a landscape project, bush trimming, whatever it may be, sometimes I forget. I see it through my mind's eye, and I think I've got documentation of it. But in the reality, I start flipping through my phone, and I'm like, shit. I excuse my language. I only got like 3 pictures of that project.
All right.
And it's like I got like, and two of them were before pictures, and then only one was an after picture. So it looks like crap, and then you're like, wait, no, 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 I don't want the crap pictures. I want the really good looking pictures.
Oh yeah.
So, depending on what kind of work you're doing, make sure you're taking pictures. You know, that way you can post things to whatever social media platform you want and keep everything fresh, because you might take pictures of the same property every week. Does every single one of them need to be posted? No. You
Right.
want something that's a little bit unique. But at the same time, you could go ahead and post a new picture of that same place like a year later,
Oh
because
yeah.
update the one that you have deep down in the bowels of Google's business ranking and all that stuff. So,
Oh yeah. Quality over quantity for sure.
absolutely.
Off subject real quick. Blake, after this, dude, I'll totally get on with you. Absolutely. I got time to kill for sure. Uh, but what was I gonna say? What were we talking about?
We were
See, he
talking
already did it to
about
me.
Google and quality over
Okay, yeah,
quantity.
yeah, yeah. Because for the pictures, something I do because I'm always filming, I'll get in my software and I'll take individual screenshots of parts of the video that are awesome photos, so I can make this catalog of a ton of photos without taking pictures. I just take
Yeah.
those frames, you know. And
And
some people don't even do that.
the pictures, I know a lot, there's some really high quality video,
Mhm.
but a picture is completely different, because
Oh, it
if you
is.
get because it could still be blurred.
Mhm.
When you take an actual photo of something, and you take, like, I most of the time I just use my phone, and I always use like the rear facing camera,
Oh yeah.
and it looks, and I'll make sure I got everything set up right, and I take a picture, and it looks great. And I really feel like Google like rewards me for like those types of photos,
Got my
because
wife in here yelling at me now.
people engage in them. Tell her hi. Hi,
She's
lady.
in the chat telling me only one podcast because you have to get your son up in the morning.
Only one what?
Podcast because I got to get my son up in the morning.
Oh yeah, only one podcast. I don't have time for
But
uh,
yeah, even social media people making YouTube videos, take parts of those videos, make them like 30-second, minute long videos, and share those on Facebook and other social media too. If you're wanting to stay in the mind's eye of everything.
yeah. I mean, there's so many ways that you could get in front of people, and not be like a pest. That
Yeah.
I hate it when, and I'm not picking on anybody in particular, but I hate it when I see stuff just pop up, and then I go ahead and I click on it, because a lot of times those guys have the same, they have good content. You
Uh,
click on it, and then it's just like, duh, it was just something stupid, like they didn't really have anything to say, and it's like, I watched your live, video for 7 minutes, and you didn't talk about
right.
anything good. So,
Shout out to Aaron Thompson, dude. Thanks for the $5. As you guys know,
whoa,
if you
Aaron
do
Thompson, $5,
if you
nice.
do donate any of the money going to, obviously YouTube takes like 50% of it, but any of the money that goes to this, I'm buying Amazon gift cards. I'm gonna do giveaways in a lot of these podcasts and stuff for you guys just to give it back into you guys, because I'm not one for like donations and things like that. I'm like I'd rather just give it back to you guys, make this a lot more fun, you know.
You never give me anything. I don't even have
What
one
are you
here.
talking about? I sent you
What?
$10 million in the mail. Did you not get it?
You know what? That was from you. Oh man, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I
I
signed
thought
it
that
ring lawn care. You don't.
I thought that was from someone else. I'm sorry. I thought I got those gold Kruger now. The golden with the Kruger thingies. Was
Freddy
that you,
Krueger.
or was that Blake?
I was a crooner.
No, the Kruger guy. I don't know. They're gold coins, man. They're awesome.
I don't know.
They're
I sent you a
totally illegal in the
Bitcoin.
U.S. too. So
Oh yeah. But here's a question for you.
yes.
Why lawn care?
Why lawn care?
Why lawn care?
Lawn care has been part of my life the entire, like, since I was a teenager.
Right.
I've done maintenance. As I got older, I did. I worked for a company. I was a crew lead for them. I ran their crews, and I kind of got tired, burnt out a little bit. Thought I was gonna move on to bigger and better things. Went to school again, became a teacher. That only worked out for a few years. Got burnt out on that. Went into construction. Almost got killed a few times, and then decided, you know what? I'm going back to something that I actually enjoy doing, and it never tried to kill me. So
Oh yeah.
I came back to lawn care. Uh, it's a big cycle that I did, and it's something that I do. I just appreciate being outside a lot. I like providing a quality service to people, and
Absolutely.
and I'm also just a huge nerd when it comes to like doing the spray tech stuff now. And you know, it's just one of those things. It's like it allows me to be outside, uh, and then that's as the tech. But I'm starting to move past that now and trying to just be the business owner. But I'm still a geek at heart, and I still will always try to do like all the chemical applications and things like that.
Heck
Um,
yeah.
but
Big shout out real quick to M at Rivera Landscaping. Keep up the good work, man. Thanks
hey,
for the
that's
donation
Maui.
again. Maui.
Yeah,
Like the dude from that
yeah. I just,
cartoon
I
my kid
just, I
watched?
just ran into him in Chicago. We were
Oh, that's awesome.
Ring was out. Ring and Joe DePace came out from Michigan.
Yep.
Ring came out from Minnesota, and John Hubasek, he came out from Chicago. He lives out here. We're not too far apart. We go out to lunch every now and again.
He's a good dude, man. I love talking
Yeah.
to John.
Oh, John's awesome. But then Maui come up and he just came out to hang out for like a little bit. He was only there for about a half hour or so. But we dropped in, hugged it out,
Oh yeah.
talked a little bit, and
Good
that was
dude.
good. Good dude, man. Good
Oh
dude.
yeah. He's in my
He,
stuff a lot. Always comment, man. I'm glad to see he's a good dude.
yeah. Uh, but anyway,
I'll go ahead and refresh my own topic just to get you back into it.
yeah, go
But the
ahead.
main reason I kind of went into lawn care is because it was always really therapeutic for me. Even mowing my own grass, man, I could just like throw the headphones on and just kind of zone out for like an hour. And I love the feeling of not being on like a constant time necessarily. Obviously, there's
Sure.
a schedule to keep, but it's not like you have to just constantly go all out. You can kind of coast every now and then. And it's just a
Sure.
relaxing feeling and being outside, like you said, and just, I don't know. I don't always like taking the crap yards, but I love making something crap look amazing when I'm done. Just look
Oh yeah.
really, really good.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I like the lawns that are weed free and everything,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
but there is something about a really overgrown lawn or something like that, that has weeds in it. But once you get done cutting it, it's like if you just look at it from afar,
Yeah.
like that looks really good.
I guess I can see the
Yeah,
stripes from the next town over.
the stripes, you got the edging dialed in, the trimming's beautiful. It's like everything's blown off and it's just crisp. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah,
How's
I
the
know where you're coming from.
BG86? The BG86 is awesome after I got all the dirt and sand and crap out of it. Did you ever hear that story?
No, I missed that
I
one.
was shout out to Custom Cuts, man. I appreciate that. I was mowing a commercial property, had my stuff like where I always park it. I come back to my truck and my cone is stolen and something
Mm,
else was stolen. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head, but there's a random handheld blower by my truck. Like whoever did it like drove off and dropped their crap. So they stole a cone and it might have been a strap or something from me, but
uh-huh.
I got a free handheld blower out of it.
Nice.
so I was like,
Well,
you lose.
that's a better deal than I got. I mean,
I
I've had quite a bit of theft in the past year and a half.
know.
I mean, I literally had all my stick equipment ripped off from my truck. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, they're out there, man. They're
And
definitely out there. I don't care where you live. Trust me, they're out there.
yeah, I had a equipment defender backpack blower rack, and there wasn't a backpack blower in it at the time, but they tore that right out of my trailer.
Yes, it
I
was a
I
5 gallon shirt can. He's right.
I, th-
5 gallon shirt.
I think I told you that story before,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah. Because we had that long. I don't remember. We started talking about something. Then we had like a phone conversation till like 2 o'clock in the morning, just talking about how crappy our old jobs were.
yeah, mine wasn't bad. I mean, I made really good money at it, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it was like they wanted to murder me every time they turned around.
Right.
So Yeah.
Lawn Justice, it's 4-0. It's just if someone wants to, they can feel free to donate. All that money goes back into the podcast I'm doing and giveaways. Yeah, no one feel obligated to donate anything. It's just if you want to, go for it. I'm just going to turn around and use that money for awesome giveaways for you guys. That's the plan. But yeah, for sure. I don't
Sorry,
care what you do, man. Make sure your stuff is secured because they will grab it the minute you're not paying attention.
Yeah, around by me, there's quite a few areas that just kind of.
See, that was what was crazy too, because that commercial property I was mowing was like on the back roads. Like you have to know where it's at to know it's even there. And still,
absolutely. I mean, what's up, Lanier?
What's going on, Danny?
Anyway, yeah, this is the same place where all my stick equipment got ripped off.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the owner of the other company, it turned out it was another lawn care company that took my stuff. Saw the office saw one of their guys loading up all of that gear into their truck or their car at the end of the day, and they thought they're stealing their stuff. But then it turns out I put feelers out there. I said, "Hey, just in case, I know you guys were out in this area. If you saw anything, let me know." And the owner came forward, like was able to return all my stuff, and except for one piece, but I was compensated for it.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's good to see that there's companies out there like that.
Yeah. I mean, he's still, not happy that I'm working in his area, but at the same time, he's not trying to cripple me.
Right.
So, but anyhow.
Another shout out to Lawn Justice real quick. I got a chance to hang out with him a lot at the GIE. Great people, dude. Him and his wife are absolutely great people.
Nice.
He's out in New York. Run through the chat real quick.
Run through it.
If they wanted to, they're going to get it. Absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you do. You can use Equipment Defender. You can use Green Touch. I can take a hacksaw, hack them racks off, and I'll work on getting the trimmers off of it when I get home.
Dude,
I mean, there's nothing to it.
You really, if you look at it, you just need a couple sockets.
Yeah.
And you could do it quietly.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you know the size. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, hell, you get one of those stupid little gator socket things that fits anything. I mean, it's not a great tool, but I mean, hell, you could zip them off real quick and throw them in your truck. And
my wife's giving me a reminder. I do remember I was mowing a property. I did the backyard first with the 36 Encore, parked it next to my truck so I'd be able to get the 48 back on there, and someone stole the damn key out of my Encore. But it didn't do anything. It just yanked the key out of it.
I'm glad I still have, I have the old, or, the original V-Rides.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I still have those because there's a sequence to start them things. You know, it's not like, oh, you can just jump on it, turn the key, and go. You got to make sure the safeties are all engaged and what, blah blah blah. And some guys are like, I bypass all of that stuff. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. It actually saved my equipment from getting stolen one time because some guy rolled up, tried taking it, and couldn't figure it out, and then it just sat there. You know what I mean? And by the time I got done running over there, and I'm a bigger guy. I am a fast big guy, but I'm not that fast anymore because I'm old now too. So
I'm one of those guys that never was fat till I kind of got married and I was eating all the time. So I used to be in shape, and now I still think I am, and it's a bad look. It's a bad look. You ever done that thing where you get ready to take off running like a full spin and you just start falling? Like, shit, my legs aren't there anymore.
Yeah, your legs are just not there. So yeah, you lose it. But
because I tell you what, man, if someone steals the walk behind, like instead of yanking the key, I know it's a lawn care company. How many normal people know how to run a walk behind with a sulky and could just get it? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's not happening.
Yeah, the pistol grips alone kind of confuse people.
Yeah, it's backwards to people.
Especially if it's a pull start. They're like, what? I'm trying to turn the key. I'm turning the key. It's not doing it. I don't know
what's a pull start?
Yeah.
That's great.
Pull the cord.
Yeah, Danny in here, Custom Cut. Shout out to Custom Cuts. Can I call him Maui now? I'm going to keep thinking of the movie, though. My little Maui.
Well, that's what...
Moana.
It's Maurice. Yeah, that's exactly when he said, call me Maui. I'm like, well, is this Moana?
Look here, The Rock.
Are you The Rock now? No.
Tamer is the Indiana
tracking is well worth it. Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay. Is the chem test hard or easy to pass the test out there in Indiana?
It's as long as you know some as long as you know the basics and you like study the book a little, it's relatively easy. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean,
Right.
I would say the core test is a lot easier than like say um the category ones. Like in Indiana for turf, it's called the 3B. That one's got more specific things.
Mm.
The landscape bed stuff, like your ornamentals, trees, and things like that. That's a little bit more engaging. Um, I'm going for my mosquito soon, which is a category 8 in
Oh, dude, I'm gonna fly
Indiana.
you down here to take care of that crap on my yard.
I'm working on some stuff. It's supposed to be
It's like I
nice.
got some stuff going, man.
I got some stuff going on, but
I
yeah,
can
there's
resurrect mummies. I got all kinds of chemicals.
dude, I got all these projects going. It's amazing. What's up, Mr. Hanson? Richard
Hey,
Hanson's in the house
Richard
right now.
Hanson from Hanson's Lawn Care.
Yeah. Uh, but no, seriously, like I know a lot of guys. Speaking of Richard Hanson, like a lot of guys talk about, you know, I know a lot about the salt brine and all that stuff, and I'm thinking about going into production with that to like become like somewhat of a distributor in here. This is kind of like a pipe dream in a sense because
There you
it's
go.
like I think it, but I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to pursue it or not. And then there's also some things that are popping up with the mosquito control or
Yeah.
mosquito reduction, I should say. But I whipped up some stuff in my kitchen, and it was amazing.
I said
It kind of works.
I played 14 years of football, and it was about the age of 35 I realized I was old.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Zach, definitely.
I
Yeah,
always realize I'm old when my kid wants to play on the floor. I'm like, damn, I gotta get back up.
now see, I'm not bad about getting off. I was a wrestler, so I mean, I used to shoot and everything, and like get back up. But like that doesn't bother me. I think
I just sit there too long, and then the legs start going numb.
oh, I don't have that problem. I just kind of I don't know. I don't know what my problem is. I know, like, it's funny. My wife goes, she'll hear my joints and everything like crack, and it sounds like explosions.
They're
She's like,
just
"Are you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And like inside, you're a man, and you're just kind of like, "Oh, you know, you're like screaming inside a little bit,
oh yeah,
and you're trying not to show that you're old and feeble. But yeah, I'm fine, hon, no problem. What was that? No, it's just my shoulder exploding. It's fine.
shout out to Lucas Lawns for when Andy lost balance taking off the backpack blower. I ate it that day. It was funny as hell.
Yeah, it was that little snippet you sent me that one day where you
Probably.
just like totally biffed it.
Hell
You
yeah.
were a boy.
That's what I'm talking about. You're not as young as you thought you were. I lost
Gotcha.
balance. I couldn't get it back, Looked like Bald Bull and Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Oh, bald bull.
Speaking of old video games, shout out to the little MAME arcade I got playing videos behind me. If you guys recognize a game that
I
you loved
love
when you were a
well
kid.
that one right there, the off-road rally. That was like
Yeah.
God, what was his name? Iron Mike or Iron something. I can't remember what, but like that was back when it was actually registered, and there was like an actual like truck guy that
Yeah.
was like sponsoring that game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was it because you know how Mike Tyson's Punch Out isn't Mike Tyson's Punch Out
Yeah,
anymore.
it's
It's
Punch
just
Out.
Punch Out.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a that one like dirt racing game that had a guy attached to it to try to sell more copies. Had nothing to
Let's
do
see
with
if we can
him.
relaunch this again with this dude on it.
Let's relaunch this, and we're gonna have this old 1980s dude that races dirt trucks around a circle.
Oh yeah, man. I love Mike Tyson's Punch Out though. That game was
It was the
fun.
best. It was awesome. I love all the 8-bit games. I still have my Nintendo 8-bit system.
Oh yeah. I got every arcade game pretty much ever made except for some of the Japanese stuff because it's pointless. It's like
You don't have Super Famicom games? Come
it's
on,
like
man.
nude mahjong. I'm like, no thanks.
I got those in the garage.
I got
They're
every
like
Nintendo.
1993. Like there's
Oh
the
yeah.
16-bit. Super like right about Super Nintendo time.
Oh yeah. Hey, I got every Atari, all of them. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega. I got it
Yeah.
all. And then sometimes you go through there, you spend more time looking for a game to play than you ever do playing anything. But once you finally find one, you realize sometimes how bad of a game it actually was. You're like,
Yeah.
don't want to play this.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, this is awesome when I was a kid. Now it sucks.
Yeah, F-Zero was fun. That was a fun racing game.
That was. Oh yeah,
One of your lawn care's got a giveaway coming up this week. Guys, be watching. So if you're a girl in here, don't watch. But if you're a guy, he says feel free.
You know what I love about Google Hangouts?
What's that?
Is that you could talk, and then the screen goes to you,
Yes.
and then you could see me right now. Like while you're talking, you could still see me, but the rest of everybody else can't.
I know. Because when I do it, I bring up my regular YouTube page, chat on the side, and then I have Google Hangouts on the other. That way I'm constantly right with you, not trying to watch it buffering on the YouTube live stream for me. But
Right.
yeah, it's a blast, man. It's way better than side by side, I think, because you get full presence of the person talking to you. You feel engaged.
We are engaged. Well, not only that, but you don't. The other people don't get to see what I'm doing
right
while you're talking. So
I always get a look at John Pajak. You guys don't.
It's awesome. But
go check the channel out after this. There you go, man. My wife
she had a
says
hysterectomy, and they wanted me to take 8 weeks off. I took 1 week and went back to work. Andy gets a sinus infection, and he's out of commission for 2 weeks in bed, not doing anything.
I am, man. I'm a baby when I get sick. It's the man flu is a real thing, and there's a charity that you guys can, go to.
Well, don't forget that GoFundMe page that I start for you every like 6 weeks. That,
Oh yeah,
covers all the medical expenses and everything. So all the sinus aid and the NyQuil,
See, which I can't take because I have high blood pressure. I've learned
well,
not
I'm
that
sorry.
long ago.
Then you could send those bottles back, and we
I'm
could,
gonna have to.
sell them to the meth guy.
I also like getting really close to the mic too. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, do you?
Sometimes. Danny, I rewatched the live with you and Andy, and I didn't hear what he was saying. Watch the video replay. I don't know what he's talking about, but there you go. J&M. Dude, I'm laying in bed with the flu, nursing my mangina. Dude, I hear you.
His mangina is so full of sand, it's not even funny.
What are you drinking there? What do you got?
This one is Smithwick's.
You're a big fan of the offshoot beers, aren't you?
Well, any beer is good to me. The Harps is already in me. Right. And then we started the presentation off with the Miller High Life because it's a champagne of beers. So, I figure once that's done, I could have made a black and tan, but I'm going to make that in my belly with the Guinness here. And
Dude, you're so lucky.
If we still have time, I'll probably polish off this bottle of Wild Turkey. So
that's the only one I can
man.
do.
I've already drank. This is 3 beers, and we're on our 4th. And then if we can't execute the entire show,
Iron Man Stewart's off road.
There he is. Ranger Landscape. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Iron Man Stewart. Yes.
Yeah, but dude, I used to be a big fan of beer, but I don't know. I got like an allergic reaction to it now. If I drink one, my neck gets real red. I start getting real hot and flushed in the face. It's weird. So I just don't mess with it.
Well, you guys could see I have it's a bit of rosacea.
Yeah.
And I get it right here between my eyes. My nose is a little bit, but really my cheeks get flush. And I found out that was from my days at the refinery. Like the chemical burns.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, it was really weird. So like now my skin is really sensitive. So when I start drinking a lot, I have to drink a metric F load in order to flush out. But
right.
Either that or take a really hot shower. But
say spotted cow. I did have one of those when I was in Wisconsin. It was rather delicious.
I've never had it.
I only got to have the one. It kind of reminds me of whatever the green label Dos Equis is.
Gotcha.
That's what it
Put a little whiskey on it. Half a fifth should perk you right up. Don't drive though. That's exactly. My big thing is, if you guys ever have issues, okay, and I'm not trying to advocate alcohol, but there's a lot to say about salt and good whiskey.
Yeah.
If you have cuts, go ahead and mix that salt in and just soak your hands in salt water. It'll clean that cut right out. And it's going to hurt like a little bit, but it's going to heal up real nice. And then if you got anything internally, like you got a sore throat, go ahead, gargle some salt water, maybe splash it down with some whiskey. I mean, I know that it's like granddad's cures, man, and they work and they still work. I haven't gotten sick all year. Oh
It's like
God,
the movie
knock on
Made in
wood.
Pain when that guy gets like shot or his legs blown off. And he's
Yeah.
like, let me give you something to take your mind off of that pain. He grabs his finger and just
Oh,
breaks it in half.
yeah, yeah.
It's like now you're thinking about something else.
Absolutely. I mean, I think about a lot of stuff. I mean, yeah.
So
Oh,
when did you start? When did you start your business?
2015 is when we officially launched.
Okay.
2016 was the first full year. So 2018 is technically I'm just going to call 2018 year three.
Now, what do you
Um,
think your growth from 2015, 16 ish?
every year so far I've doubled.
Okay.
Um, I take that back. 20, what did I make 2015? Now don't now it's easy to double when you're small.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm not trying to like give anybody the wrong idea, like, oh my God, we made millions or anything like that. We
Right.
did not. Um, but going the growth from year one to year two was more than double.
That's good though,
And
man.
so it's not like I could really sit back and like enjoy
Right.
life and go on vacations right now. But at the same time, it's getting close to replacing my income from uh, when I was in construction per se. Because construction, I mean, I was making some pretty decent money.
Yeah.
Um, year
I
three
so
here,
much more fun when you do it for yourself, though.
oh, absolutely. I mean, I work. I a lot of guys that are kind of like in my inner circle. And I consider you. You're on the fringe of that inner circle.
Dun dun dun.
You have a window into it. You could see
I
it if you
know.
want to, but you just choose not to look into it. But
I'm
when
just all
I
over the place. That's what my problem is.
yeah, you gotta focus in on that ADD, man. You just
It's
gotta
hard.
uh no, but most of the guys that are closer to me, they understand. It's like I do the physical work and then I do the like say office work, paperwork type stuff. And I mean, I will work until I will burn both ends of that candle, you know, as far as I can. And like I would get like 2, 3 hours of sleep a night. And then, but I wouldn't do that for anybody else except for myself.
Right.
And not being greedy, saying it's for myself. It's for my family.
Right.
So I don't care that I'm working. Within a week, I'm working like 100-hour week, but I'm really only getting paid for say 20, 25, 30 hours of that.
Right. Because that was a couple other topics I was going to touch on. Also, being a family guy, dad, you have kids, stuff like that. Do you consider yourself a workaholic, or are you trying to figure it out to where you're able to set that time aside to be around and do things?
The way I set my life up,
Uh-huh.
it's not like I had a plan to do this, but
Right.
I go to work in the morning, work until it kind of gets late.
Right.
But when I get home, there is that pause time. I take a shower, get cleaned up, have a meal with the family, and spend time with my daughter and my wife. And that time is pure. It's like I set that 3 hour block, whatever it might be. Sometimes it's a little bit longer, sometimes it's a little bit less. It really depends on what time that I put my daughter down. But once that's over, then I go back to work. I go back up to the office, start hammering more things out. And that's another reason why like this year I'm trying to like pull away from a lot of more of the social media stuff so I could spend the time that I would be fielding questions and things from other companies, guys, whatever. I get a lot of people that just contact me, however they contact me,
Right.
um, and I'm not saying it's not a time suck because I enjoy helping people and whenever I can help people out, but it's starting to kind of eat into my family time. So it's like, hey, unless you want to talk at 3 o'clock in the morning when
Right.
I'm up and still doing work, I'm not going to answer your call or something. But
Yeah, it's difficult, man. That's one of the
yeah.
things that always kind of weighs on my mind when I'm doing what I'm doing. Because I definitely don't want to grow up thinking I missed a lot or have my son be like, man, dad was never there going to the karate stuff. I'm like, I got to set aside time, man, because that stuff's super important.
Oh, absolutely. Like this thing right here. Everybody's got one now.
Oh, yeah.
I I can't say that I'm not addicted. I am addicted to this freaking thing.
Yes,
Anytime this little, notification dot goes off, I'm like, oh. But when my
exactly.
daughter's around, I throw this freaking thing as far away from me as I possibly can
Yeah.
for two
I,
reasons. One, I want to spend time with my daughter. And second, I don't want her to see that I prefer this stupid chunk of plastic and electronics over her, you know?
absolutely.
So that's kind of where I stand on that. But
That's a good habit to get into, man, because I'm the same way. Every time that thing goes off, I feel like I got to look at it because it could be something.
dude, I'm sorry, timeout. I've got that stupid Predator versus Alien game.
Do you? I'm going to keep talking so it pops up, man.
Yeah, that's a garbage game, but it's actually it was still fun.
Yeah, what was that? I tried to play Double Dragon the other day and like, oh, this game sucks. It was cool, like for the arcade, like it was awesome.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 1 is the same way. I'm like, oh my God, this game is horrible. But when it came out, this game was awesome.
Oh, absolutely. It's like Street Fighter 2 before like all the other variations came out. You
I
start
think that's the most cloned game ever. Like there's a geez, dude, there's so many Street Fighters.
Yeah. I mean, you got, but I'm just saying, if you
Oh,
try
look
to
what's on right
play,
now in the background. There we
oh,
go. There it is.
is that the Mike Tyson or is that just the
That's
regular
Mike
Punch
Tyson right
Out?
there. That's Mighty Mac and Glass Joe, man.
That Glass Joe. I was gonna say,
Fall River says you're the man.
hey, what's up, Fall Rivers? That's that's Mr. Kevin Frost for all y'all people that don't know.
He was my first podcast with Kevin Frost, which was weird for everybody because he wasn't wearing glasses and I was.
Oh wow. Well, Mr. Frost, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that I am the man.
Mr.
I try
Frost.
not to be the man, but to how do they say it? To be the man, you got to beat the man. I haven't
I,
beat I
it's like
haven't beat anybody in a long time, so
I think it's something about licking a gift horse in the mouth or the
you got to
feed him.
lick a gift horse.
I don't know what it is,
Oh,
man.
I don't know.
Someone asked how many properties we run. Right now, I think I'm confirmed like 32 or 33, but I'm still waiting on a lot of clients to respond. Where I want to be is anywhere between 40 and 50, I think works out perfect for me
Yes.
for a week. And I can also have a lot of time on the weekends, I still believe, to spend time with my family because something I really want to get into is taking my son fishing this year. He's getting to the age where he's growing fast too. It's crazy. I know you got a daughter too. I'm like, my kid's gonna be 6 this year. We do the little lines on his head in the doorway. I'm like, he's almost up to the damn door.
Dang, man.
It's
Well,
crazy.
my daughter's only 4, and she's like a freaking monster compared to these other 4-year-olds.
Oh yeah, dude.
Everybody thinks that she's like 5 or maybe even like a small 6. And I'm like, no, she just turned 4. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, she's 4. Chill
Solo.
out.
Yes, I'm 100% solo.
Yeah.
Are we planning on hiring help this year? You have help, don't you? You have a helper?
Not good help, reliable help. No, I do
Yeah,
not.
that's a
I'm
conversation everybody can have right there.
yeah, that I am currently solo again, and I'm trying to find somebody before the beginning of the season. I'm trying to find one good guy to help me with the lawn mowing aspect because I'm going deep.
Yeah.
I'm going be deep into. Do you say balls deep on YouTube? Is that possible? Or
Yeah, I mean, you can pretty much say anything.
I know I'm trying to keep it, PG-13, maybe slight. What's NC-17
X.
or R? Wait, which is better, R or NC-17? I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know.
I'm trying to find like one good guy that could like help out with the workload for mowing while I focus more of my efforts to advertising, marketing, and doing the actual applications.
Yeah.
For
And that's something me and Kevin talked a lot about in the first podcast, and I hope he's able to figure that out sooner than later. He's had some health problems. Obviously, everyone should know that if you watch his channel. And he's got that, I believe it's a tumor that's on some of his nerves, always causes him pain all the time. He's always in pain. So that would be a great deal for him to just not be on the mower all the time and doing everything and letting it work for themselves.
Yeah.
But out of
Yeah.
all the guys I know solo and YouTube or in person or whatever, I'm going to give it up to Blake Albertson for having probably one of the best helpers in Nick, man. He does such a
Nick's
great
awesome.
job and he's always there.
Yeah, Nick's awesome. I just talked. I didn't talk to him. I snapped him saying, "Hey, I'm going to be on Andy's YouTube tonight," and he was like, "Oh yeah, I love Andy." I'm like, "I know you love Andy. That's why I sent I was like, hey man,
Nick's a
two
great
for
dude,
one
man.
here, man." But yeah, he's funny. I really got a chance to talk to him on it was so weird. Going to GIE last year,
Yeah.
Blake and Nick and Blake's girl were all on the same flight, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? I'm going to see you all weekend or all week, and you somehow managed to get on the same flight as me. You came up to Chicago, and then you flew north to go south. I don't know, but anyway,
That's Southwest nowadays, man.
yeah, it's crazy.
Jeez,
And
dude,
then,
I can't remember the last time there was available seats on a flight. Every flight I've ever been on nowadays is completely jam packed.
dang, I guess I'm pretty lucky because I'm near Chicago, so I could get any flight
Oh,
one
there you go.
way. Like I don't have to do any layovers or it's all direct flights. I get a lot of people that are carryover people, but
First
you
time the
know.
garbage game is back
But
now.
anyway, I was able to speak to Mister, and he was pretty. He was just great meeting him. So
He's a good dude.
he's a really good dude.
Nick Musselman. I don't know if he wants his last name shared.
You
So that's
shouldn't
not
change, dude. It's just Nick,
Nick,
pouncing
the
walrus.
pouncing walrus.
That's what his name is. Do you guys call it soda or pop? This is what Lucas Lawns from Wisconsin asked.
I
We
think
call it pop.
I was about to say, I think I actually say both, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we call it pop. And we
I think
like
I missed some
we
comments.
drink a few pops in the front room.
Front
I'm
row.
originally from like the Chicagoland area. So, if you're after school, if your mom would like let you sit there and while you're doing your homework in the front room, she would let you have a pop with your friend, but only when company was over.
Andy, what's up? How's it going, buddy? What's your favorite bachelor? Favorite bachelor is going to be a spinnerbait just because I think it's super versatile.
Well,
If they're
yeah,
chasing, you can burn them in fast. If it's cold and just
absolutely.
drag it along the bottom and be slow. But it's one of those lures you can just throw and throw and throw and throw and throw, man.
Now, hang on a second though. One of my favorites though has always been a Red Devil spinner, like spinner spoon.
Inline spinners.
Yeah, just I don't even actually technically,
The only thing I don't like about inline spinners is line twist.
but yeah.
I mean, I throw
Yeah,
inline spinners on an
I,
open.
I would always put swivels on mine though, so I wasn't always truly tying it to it. I'd
All
always have a swivel on there. My dad hated it because he's like, "You don't need that swivel." And,
right.
yeah, but it's easier for me to switch baits and everything. So
Trying to go back through all these.
yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
It
Everything is.
goes so fast. I wish I had a bigger chat, but it's really not. Nick also knows a lot about equipment and the business. He really does, man.
I know he was telling me about the Stinger aerators, and I know Blake had a whole thing on there, and you were in that video, or maybe it was your video. I'm not really sure, but
Yeah, he came over to my house and we aerated my yard.
yeah, that little guy, that little one with the Velky or the sulky
Yeah,
on the
it's like a
back.
little walk behind, like the size of a 36 walk behind,
Yeah,
basically.
that thing pulled me around at GIE in really sandy turf, and I was like, "Well, I'm pretty impressed with this,"
Yeah.
and I would have
But
loved to jump on that.
I know the sulky life, and that thing jacks my knees up.
Yeah.
If you
Well,
don't have perfectly flat, well maintained yards, man, you hit a couple things, you're like, geez, man.
but the price point for that thing and the
I don't even know what the price point
maneuverability.
is. How much is it? Even know? Guessing, just
I
guessing.
want to I want to say it was like 5 and 6.
Yeah. Frogs
I
and buzz
mean,
baits. Yes, I love both of them. I just don't throw them often here because I'm in Missouri.
Missouri. That's
Crankbait
ridiculous.
guy. I love throwing crankbaits. It just, I don't know. They get annoying.
Jesus. Frogs and buzzbaits. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm looking at like now I'm starting to look at the frickin' thing.
Said the best spinners are M80s spinning in the air. Pow. That reminds me of a joke. Guys dynamite fishing. Game warden comes up, says, "Man, you can't fish with dynamite here." He's like, "Well,
Yeah.
I'm doing it." He's like, "Well, you can't do that. I'm gonna write you a ticket." So the guy lights a stick of dynamite and hands it to the game warden. Game warden goes, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, you gonna fish or hold it in your hand?" It's a
That's a good one.
joke. I like it.
I
It's like a
like
little
that
kid's
one.
joke.
I like that. That's pretty funny. That's amusing, sir. I am.
But I had to make it
I
a
might
bad
tell that
joke.
at my next chess club meeting. Yeah.
Like I had no delivery. I just had to spit it out real fast.
Yeah, because I was kind of talking over you too, and it's like we're
What's going on?
throwing some shtick down.
Local, like Ambrose. Sulky kills my back. Absolutely, man.
That's why I do all the stand-on units. I used to have rights back in the day. When I worked for a different company, we were all on rights and Great Danes, those two mowers, and that changed. That was the game changer for us.
Yep.
And when I started the company, when I started the L Turf
The old turf trammer.
the Trama de Turf. People have a hard time saying my freaking company name. I don't understand it. But when I started Turf Tamer, I just went to the V rides uh, because I liked Skag, and I got really good deals on the Skags.
You got a lot of hills and stuff in your area.
It depends on where you're at. Most of it's flatland, but then we have these goofy places that decided that they were going to like invent, high and lowland.
Right.
So they like made stupid stuff, and the B rides climb right up it. So
that's the only issue I've had with the V rides. I love the cut quality. I'll always say I think the Velocity deck is probably the best mower deck there is. But man, the extra 400 pounds I get with the Gravely just helps me out a ton because when I ran Blake's business or mow with him, we got a lot of hills here, and some of those, that front end's popping up on me all the time, and I hate it. But that Gravely just climbs it perfectly for me, man.
What's Blake running, 52s or?
He's got 52s.
Okay, that's
and
what
he's got the new V ride too now too also.
Okay, so I got the 52 and the 36, the Gen 1, and that thing, even with my big ass on the back of it, handles hills very well. And when I was in Michigan, I helped out Joe DePace. I came, Joe DePace. He's a good-looking guy.
He still needs to send me a pizza.
Well, hey, that's my. I got to send you the pizza. He's got to send you some lasagna from his Italian guy. Oh my God, that lasagna is amazing. I dreamt about that.
Dude.
But anyhow, when I went up there to help him with some leaf cleanups. I was able to test out his Gravely and really put some work on that thing.
Right.
I've tried it before, and I'm not gonna I don't ever. The biggest thing for me is like when it comes to equipment selection, pick what where you could get the best service.
Oh yeah.
If it turns out it's like, hey, it's Toro or I don't World Lawn, okay?
Yeah, we don't talk about World Lawn.
I'm just like it's like, hey, the only person that has dealer support and they only have World Lawn, then I'd probably say go with the World Lawn because when the equipment breaks, you need to get it serviced, and a lot of guys nowadays are not just they just don't know how to work on stuff.
Right.
And a lot of these mowers, they require special parts. It's not just like, oh yeah, I could put a bolt in there and it's fine. It's like, no, you need this exact bolt.
Right.
So therefore you need the dealer support behind it. So I don't bicker and say Skag's better than anything else. I just say whatever the best piece of equipment in your area that you get dealer support on, get that one.
Oh yeah. I literally drive an hour to my dealer just because, dude, they're the best people. They really are.
Sure.
I have a Gravely dealer not too far away, but I've heard nothing but bad things from them. And the 2 times I went there, they've messed things up. Like I just needed a spark plug for a 100 RX and they gave me the wrong one. I go back home. It ain't fitting. I had to go all the way back. There's just little things like that drive me nuts.
Yeah.
But he also, like, literally, if mower's down, he'll bring me a loaner, take my mower out there and go because that's part of his warranty program, which is super awesome.
Yeah, and that's the thing with mine. My dealer, if they are going to have my whatever equipment more than one day,
oh yeah,
they will give me a replacement. They'll give me a rental. They'll give me something.
Yeah, something to keep grass cutting.
And that's amazing because I'm still a smaller outfit. I'm not a big guy, as in business wise.
Right.
So when if that one piece of equipment goes down, you know, yes, I have a backup, but at the same time, it's like I'm not as efficient with it. They
Right.
understand that, and they'll be like, "Hey, we got a 60-inch sit down that we could lend you." Okay, that'll take the place of my 52, stand on. Okay,
Because that's
no
one of the
problem.
things I'm going to try to do this year is get a new Gravely. I want to get the X Factor 2 deck. Just from looking at it, I feel like there's a lot of things I can do to that deck personally to make it cut amazing.
Mhm.
Because the 2013 has the ACI, which is just real plain. There's no baffles. There's nothing under there. The grass spread isn't very good. So I don't know. I just kind of want to see because I know a guy that wants to buy the 2013 for like 25, 26. I'm like, man, it is a 2013. I can get a new warranty under it and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, I'm always looking to get something done. Starting to
Well,
love Mocan Rob. We'd definitely be seeing him. That's awesome, dude. I got some videos coming out from that Southern Farm Show or Western Farm Show, whatever it was I just went to, which was a different experience. I thought it was going to be a little bit more lawn related, and it wasn't. A lot of big tractors, a lot of machines over $400,000.
I mean, can't you just get one of those and put it on a 4,000 square foot lawn?
I was thinking about it, man.
I mean, I'm sure you could just drive it to it and then just drop whatever implement and then get it done in 2 seconds and
Those
be
big
done.
machines are crazy. Just standing next to the wheels and they're as tall as you. You're like, what the hell?
I know it's actually kind of terrifying
It
because
is, dude.
I live in a weird place. Like, there's still a lot of farmland around me, but it's interwoven. The land developers have bought a lot of these old farm fields, so they build communities, and then there's like a farm field in between.
Right.
It's a really unique area that I live in because I'm not that far from I'm not far from Chicago. I'm not far from
Right.
Gary, Indiana, and so you have all the urban stuff, but then I'm still on the fringe of agricultural stuff.
That's kind of where I'm at too, because I live in Liberty, which is Kansas City slash, you know what I'm saying? So I live in the heart of Kansas City and also, I'm right outside of anything that has nothing but farmland. But yeah, that's
Right.
going to be a quick shout out to my man, To the Top Crane. If you haven't checked out his channel, everybody go subscribe to the Top Crane. He's a heavy machinery operator. And those are the kind of videos I love watching on YouTube because like you said, it's kind of terrifying. And he just posted a video driving a giant, I don't even know what crane that has like 10 wheels steering. I'm like,
Oh
no,
yeah, yeah.
like down the highway and getting it to where it needs to go. I'm like, dude,
It's
there's no
insane.
way.
Golden Eyes in the background. That's amazing.
Yeah, that game was fun.
It's the
007.
It was the best. But yeah, the farm implements, man. I'll tell you, they are. Uh, some of these guys. I'm like, you only have like 4 acres here, but you have like a $750,000 piece of equipment,
Yeah.
like on it to like harvest whatever bean or corn you got on there.
Oh yeah. I
And
mean, even the small range farmers that have tractors, the amount of price on those implements are crazy.
the wheels on that thing are like taller than like my truck. Gets It's like you if I swear to God, some of these things are like 10-foot tall tires,
It's like the
and you're
movie
just
Fast
like,
and Furious. You could drive your truck under it.
oh yeah, I mean, it's just crazy,
Yeah, make sure you guys
So
go check out that heavy Mashimpin.
the heavy Mashimpin,
I think that's what I said earlier when I was trying to say heavy machine operator. Heavy Mashimpin.
heavy McShipment. Oh, Hazardra lawn care.
So,
What
what
am I
would
saying wrong?
John Pajak say that his biggest takeaway from 2017 was? What's the biggest thing you're taking into 2018 from 2017? You're like, all right,
Well, I have to always fall back on my like sort of like my catchphrase. If you guys ever watch my Facebook lives and stuff, is like to just keep pushing through because there's times when things get rough and you just got to keep pushing through. It's not just a catchphrase. It's when things get tough, there's so many guys that will make it 2, 3, 4 years in the business and then they end up folding because can't handle certain they can't handle certain obstacles. They can't see the opportunities that are in front of them and then grasp them at the time.
right.
So it's just kind of like really just keep your head down. Don't get too cocky. don't think you know everything because you never will,
Yeah, you'll
and
never
just
stop
keep.
learning.
You never stop learning that exactly. It's just one of those things where it's like you just got to keep going no matter what. And that's kind of like the takeaway from last year is like sophomore year sucks.
Right.
It's like, yeah, freshman year was rough, but sometimes you just magically made it through, and it's like, yeah, you think you're a sophomore and you start thinking you're big. You're like, yeah, you think you're a little bit bigger than what you are, and then all of a sudden the world starts collapsing around you, and you're like, oh, and then the bigger guys start to kind of squash you down a little, put you in your place, and you're like, yeah, this is not cool. You get in the sophomore slump or whatever you want to call it.
And that's
And
probably the same way I attack every day when I'm out there. I pretty much wake up every morning knowing something is going to happen, or at least having that thought, like, and it's what's supposed to happen. The stuff's supposed to break. It's going to happen.
right.
And if you're expecting it, it's not as bad. But if you're like, oh, nothing's going to happen today and flat tire, it ruins your day. But if
Yeah.
you're just going out there like something's going to happen, ain't no big deal. It's going to happen. It's going to get taken care of.
Yeah. Solo cuts. How long have we been in business? We've been in business since 2015. So,
Dun, dun, dun.
but I'm only considering 2018 the third real year. 2015 was just kind of a
Yeah.
happy.
Andy, you're totally right. The dealer is really good. Then definitely take the hour drive. It's worth it. I have a dealer here in Banner County, Florida, Buckeyes, which is great. Yeah, man, because I do a lot for Rob and Bonnie down there, and they do a lot for me. Because I mean, I know they don't do a lot with marketing, and I try to help them out as much as possible. Because I mean, they're a company, a business that I believe in. They're great people. And you talk about customer relationships. I've had issues where I had my mower, I couldn't get it to start, and I could not figure out why. Called Rob on a Sunday. He calls me in the middle of being at the movie theater with his kids watching a movie to let me know exactly what's going on. When you have a dealer that just is that knowledgeable, it's crazy. He's like, yeah. If he always says if he can tell someone how to fix it is better than having to bring it in there and get it fixed. Even though he can make $50 to $100 just replacing a switch. He just feels as far as customer support goes, it's easier and better for him to just go about and doing it. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's an extra nugget of love that he sends to you.
Yeah.
And in turn, when you have a good dealer like that, it makes you want to go back to them to buy your equipment
Oh
because
yeah.
you
And
know they're going to take care of you.
I'll say, yeah, and I do the same thing in my business. I don't know if a lot of you guys do, but if I see a customer's house where the bottom drain on their guttering's coming off or something, I'll fix it. If I see a piece of the wood fence is broken or come unscrewed, I'll fix it. It's if I have the stuff to do it, I'm just going to go ahead and do it just because I just think that's how you keep clients for a long time. They're like, man, this guy's awesome. He goes out of his way to do extra and just goes a long way.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I don't know. There's times when I don't. Try to really just stay in my wheelhouse though,
Yeah.
because there are times when they're like, you do all the extra stuff, and they're like, yeah, we found a guy that'll do it for 50 cents cheaper.
Right.
We're gonna go with them now. It's like,
But
come
don't
on.
get me wrong. If they don't appreciate it,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
may not be doing that ever
The
again.
people that appreciate me, I do bend over backwards
Yeah,
for.
absolutely,
But the
man.
people that are just kind of like, meh, yeah, it's like, all right.
Oh yeah.
So, did you
Customer
ever want to talk
relationship is
about the
good.
yard book there, or
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get into it.
let's get into the yard book? It's
Now let's
only an
go back
hour.
and do a topic. Actually, we were talking about earlier. We'll end it on this yard book subject. You were talking about the time you spend during the day coming home, hanging out with the kid for a little bit, and then going back into the business.
Yeah.
Now, when you're out for your regular day for mowing, are you getting everything done through yard book at that time, or do you come back to kind of do your paperwork and do your other stuff, or do you just kind of do it while you're out there?
I do everything out there.
Okay.
The way I've got my life set up, my business set up, is everything is prepay. So all my clients, they pay at the beginning of the month for services. So essentially, the way I explain it to them is they're paying to get a slot in our schedule. So once
Right.
they pay, they're guaranteed that slot. Um, but while I'm out in the field, I can do everything that I need to do as far as tracking time, tracking um, the jobs being completed, and things of that nature I do everything through the mobile app on my phone, uh, and I'm able to streamline my business that way.
Yeah, and as far as the app goes, man, that's something that's been difficult for me because I use YardBook as well, but I'm one of those people who, like, say, like a 40-year-old guy buys a or 50-year-old woman buys an iPhone. You're only using
Sure.
like 10% of what that does.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I am with YardBook. I need to learn more about using my expenses and stuff like that through that application and through that software.
hmm and here's the thing: like a lot of guys, they're like, especially when it comes to YardBook, the only big issue I would say is uh, their mobile app, which a lot of people confuse for, oh, it should do so much more. And it's only available for Android at the moment. There are a lot of people that have the beta version of it on Apple.
Yeah, they sent me that. I got that.
So, it's really simple. The mobile app is really for tracking jobs. To
Hmm.
say like, hey, we cut Mrs. Smith. You click into it, you log into it, and then it's like, okay, we're going to track our drive time. We're going to track our um, the time it took to complete the job. You just punch in and punch out. It's like a mobile time clock in a sense, with a couple extra features in there. And when when guys start realizing that that's what the app is for, and then they can later on the back end utilize it on the online version, the full version of the art book. There's so much information that you could pull from just that, like clocking in and clocking out, and it helps you build your business and become more efficient, more um, accurate when it comes to doing estimates, tracking time, keeping your pricing profitable. Um, just lately, I've been going through all of my old timesheets when it comes to certain uh, services that I provide,
Hmm.
and I can track that time. And it's like, okay, I'm only spending, like when it comes to the fertilization stuff, my fert and squirt aspect of the job, I track it, and it's like I punch in, I punch out using the app, and then now I go back and I'm doing an audit, and I'm like, I'm only spending 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes on these properties.
Yeah.
So now I know that when I have another tech working, this should take only 10 to 15 minutes to do, and I could charge appropriately. So when you're in certain aspects, you know how competitive our business can be in the industry. It's like it doesn't matter what we're doing, mowing, trimming, or the fert and squirt or landscaping. The almighty dollar hits us all.
Oh, yeah.
Using the app, it allows me to track the time, and then, like I said, later on, I can go back in the full version of YardBook, pull all that information, and be like, oh, okay, we're actually being profitable here. Or no, we're not profitable. We need to raise our prices or find a better tech.
I was say, yeah, because I pretty much do it all through my phone via YardBook, but I don't use the app. I go straight into the website on my phone, and I think it works great. Like, it
Right.
really does. It's
And
almost like an app the way that website works.
exactly. And that's how I have it. I have it set up the full version because I'm the owner operator. I have the full version on there as well as the app. Um, if I ever need to do a estimate in the field, which I've done before, I could just pull up the full version and do it right then and there.
Now, if you
Um,
were to pick like one thing that say YardBook you feel may not have, what would you think it would be? Is there something they're missing
um,
or something you wish they might have had on there?
I kind of, the one thing I do wish that they had was, um, with when you send out emails, they're integrating with they integrated with Mailchimp now, so it's actually kind of nice. You could send out marketing material now,
Yeah,
but
MailChimp's pretty good.
yeah, it's really cool because if you have the uh, $35 a month yard book version, you could integrate and use Mailchimp for free. Um, and it's all in one place. It's not just like, okay, I got to go to Yardbook and then I got to go to Mailchimp. It's like, no, no, no. You could do everything through the mail or through YardBook without having to go to MailChimp externally, and it's all documented in YardBook, so everything's in one place. So that's really nice. The one thing that I would like down the road is maybe to have separate templates set up um, for like when you send out invoicing and things like that. I have a database in Word where it's like every month that I send out, I kind of do upsells and things. But I guess the MailChimp integration actually took care of that now. But I generally send that. I generally send like an upsell with that month's invoice. So I try to get people to, hey, grub control might be necessary this month. Why don't you give us a call? And here,
Right.
by the way, here's your invoice. It's not a perfect system or software, and I can't tell you that there are any of them out on the market. A lot of guys compare, they're like, oh, well, YardBook's like a basic program, and then you got Service Autopilot, and then you got like the Landscape Management Network, and then you got Real Green and other programs. A lot
Well,
of
when you're
people,
talking about something that's 100% free.
yeah, exactly. I use the paid version.
Yeah.
But when you break it down and you look at what you're getting for free, it's like, holy crap, I built my whole business off of it,
Oh, yeah. I'll say one of the things I always would have liked to see on it, just to keep everything real, together, would be have some sort of mileage tracker, maybe for people that, your truck's not 100% business. So you can keep track of that just a hair better instead of having to use multiple applications. But like I said, that's really only going to certain people because
Now,
just write your mileage for the beginning of the year.
it does have a mileage tracker on there. You can track your mileage through YardBook.
Okay. I
Um,
didn't know that.
so if it's, I believe it's on the expenses tab. So if you add an expense, there's also a tab there where you could add your mileage. So it takes a little bit more input on your part because you
Right. It's
have
not like a
to.
start and stop kind of thing. It's
Exactly. You could be like, okay, for like what I do, my truck is 100% business, so it doesn't matter. I can take, you know, January 1st, if I do a calendar year, January 1st, I record the mileage, and then December 31st, I record the mileage again.
right.
If you're doing quarterly, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Shout out to Richie Plemons. What's up, man?
oh, Richie Plemons, how you doing, brother? I haven't been looking at uh, the comments here.
He's in there and he's in there deep.
He's in there.
Let's say, what's one of your favorite features about YardBook? Like the thing that you just love?
Just the fact that you could set up, like, I like the catalog a lot. I know that's totally gay. Sorry. Oh, geez, I'm gonna get in trouble now. No, but no.
Way to go.
The catalog, once you set up your catalog the right way, I could go in there and be like, okay, lawn mowing, and I type in, it's just going to be grass cutting and 9,000 square feet. I have it set up to where it's almost like an algorithm, like my estimation sheet in a different system that I built, and I've got it set up, and it's good to go. It's like it gives me the exact price because it's once I figure out that square footage price on my other thing, I pop that into the YardBook calculation, and then I put in it doesn't matter if it's like 9,554 square feet or 12,602 square feet. I pop that in, and it's going to give me an accurate price.
Oh, that's good, man. See, I don't even think of it like that. Like I was gonna say, because you're way beyond what I'm doing. That's the reason I call you all the time, because I don't think of stuff like that. I'm just so focused on using it as basically my invoice sender. And like I said, I only use probably 10% of what that can actually do. Shout out Joe DePace in the chat room as well.
What's up, Joe? Yeah, just having tilted triggered. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
And this is something else I want to touch on too. I do have 35 people in here watching right now. If you guys would like to see John Pajak fire up his YouTube and talk about YardBook and kind of do some of these little ins and outs lessons, man, leave it in the chat room. Let us know, because I think it would be great. It would be great for me, and it'd be great for a lot of other people. No, he doesn't own YardBook or associated with them necessarily 100%, but he's very knowledgeable with it. If you guys do have that application, don't go calling him all the time because he wants to spend time with his kids. But
yeah, but that that's
Because I know we've talked about it before, so I felt like putting you on the spot.
thanks, man. Yeah, I know. Andy's been for like probably well over a year.
Oh yeah,
I think since like 2016 GIE, you've been telling me to do the videos for YardBook, and
absolutely.
I probably should. Um, that's the thing. I do. There is a Facebook group that I am part of. It's called YardBook Users. Um, and that I am in there, and I will answer any question, or I do a lot of videos in there. But it's like, again, it's kind of like, it's not really a secret club or anything like that, but you kind of got to be part of that community. Andy's made a great point. I really should put the videos and knowledge out on YouTube because it is very searchable, very, you could find it watched at your leisure, as
Oh yeah,
opposed
because
to a Facebook
even
group.
not diving super deep into it, like the super advanced parts, but just the simplest stuff people may
Right.
not think about, like what you talk about, is just could help someone out in a pretty significant way. I feel.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's kind of like there you could be the thing I love about YardBook, if we're going to go back, it's not just really like one feature in particular. It's the fact that YardBook is it's very intuitive in a sense. Once
Yeah.
you get going with it, it's simple. You could be as basic as you want to be with it, or you can get like really deep with it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm one of those users that kind of goes deeper with it because I document everything with YardBook.
Which is good because then you're utilizing it to its full potential.
Exactly. And there's so much stuff in there. I know that like there's more powerful systems out there. Like I've mentioned before, like Service Autopilot and like Real Green are two of the
But
ones that I
what's the
use.
price on service autopilot?
Service Autopilot starts at 50 a month, but then once you start adding everything on, I mean, you could be 100, 120 to like $200 a month
See, and that's
just
where
on.
my questions come in. Does that price justify what it can do over a free application like YardBook?
Sure. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. Like if and I really want to say this, it depends on how big your business is too.
Yeah.
It really correlates to the size of business. If you have a couple hundred clients, you might start outgrowing YardBook. Not saying
That's
that
when you
it,
need to get like a accountant or like a whatever you want
yeah,
to call it, like a receptionist that does all that stuff.
you need somebody that really works on that all the time. A lot of people are asking like, YardBook versus QuickBook. YardBook's a pretty good system. It is not a true accounting system.
Yeah.
It has basic fundamental accounting in it. You could track your expenses, you could get like a P&L report and things like that. And job costing reports, but it doesn't. um,
It's like a more of like a organizational tool. Like it's extremely, it'll help you get organized for sure.
Absolutely. And you can't really, as of right now, they don't have like the feature to like really put in like sales tax and things like that.
Right.
There's ways to hack that. I That would be a totally different video. But I can.
So how do you guys do prepay systems? Do you do your prepay through YardBook? The way you have it
Yeah,
all set up through there? Yeah. So
yeah.
it's set up all through YardBook.
I do all my prepays through YardBook. Like I would probably say 95% of my clients pay with credit card too.
Are you 100% prepaid? Do you have any clients that aren't
No.
on prepay?
Well, no, no. I am 100% prepay. When it comes to the regular season, there's only one client that I have, and it's a bigger client that I have, that utilizes snow removal, and they're pretty much the only people I do it for. And that is very difficult to do with prepay. So that is on basis. I bill out at the end of the month for that. That's the only time I don't do prepay.
It depends on used credit card program or simply getting paid check or
Right.
cash. I don't know. I hate getting hit with the service fees and stuff like that throughout the year, but at the same time, it's all a tax write off. It just hurts at the
No, I don't
moment.
like. I will never go back to just taking cash and checks.
Oh, I
Uh,
hate chasing money.
I don't chase money.
Yeah.
Give me the credit card because I'll pay the 2.9%.
to relieve the stress of having to go, hey man, when are you going to be home? I got to pick up a check.
Exactly. I have dropped clients before because they said they were going to leave a check and they didn't. And I said, I am not cutting your lawn.
Yeah, it's a
You
headache.
are not following the agreement that we had set forth. And, you know, my terms are pretty, I don't have contracts for the year. Everything is like, you know, basically pay as you go, but there are some terms there. And it's like, for a client, the only things they have to do is they have to pay, they have to allow us access to the property. So they, you know, if it's got a lock on it, you got to give us a key or have it open for us.
Right.
Two is pay, you know, do the prepay. And three is the only other thing we have is like within, if there's any damage to your property, you got to let us know within 48 hours.
Oh yeah, right, for sure.
Everything else is on us. And I mean, we have more stipulations about how our company operates than what the clients are responsible for. So basically, you just got to let us get on the property, pay us, and then if if by chance we do screw something up, you let us know within 48 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, but what was the thing I was going on about the 2.9%? Credit
Yeah,
cards.
instead of chasing money.
I will not chase money. I will like going into this year. We're adding. Um, you could either prepay for the month, or you need to have a credit card on file with us so that after every single event we charge you. You know, because there's some people that still get a little leery about doing a prepay with a lawn care company.
Right.
So in order to alleviate that, I just say, you know what, we'll just charge you as we go, and that's mainly for our like Furt and Squirt clients that don't pay for the full year in advance. You know, it's just like, hey, we're going to come out and do an application. We need your credit card on file. Bam! If you don't do it, then you're cut off.
How many applications are you doing per year on Furt and Squirt?
The best program that I got is six applications. Last year we did a soft rollout of the program. We did 4, 5, and 6 programs. Anybody that was on the 4-step program, it wasn't enough to control the weeds. It was enough for the fertility side of the program, but they would have more weeds than we liked.
Yeah.
The 5-step plan was pretty decent. Uh, it just it was spacing the applications apart. It would get a little wiry, so we're trying to really just stick with 6 applications. That way, you could have that like picture perfect pristine lawn that doesn't have any weeds in it. And this program that I'm rolling out this year is going to be pretty amazing. I think most of my clients and most of our clients do sign up for like the uh, 6-step plan.
Right.
I think they're going to be extremely happy with the results that they're going to get from this season because we've really tweaked and dialed in the program.
Yeah, that's awesome for sure, man. When what was it last year you went into 100% prepay?
No, for day one,
Oh,
day
okay.
one
So
we were
you
prepaying.
started on board on that. That's good, man.
Yeah, because like I said, I used to run crews for another company back in like between 2000 and 2005, I think. I can't remember now. I'm getting old. But there were certain times when like the owner of the company was like, "Hey, I need you to go knock on these doors and try to get some money out of these people." And I'm like, "Man, I don't want to. I just want to do my job. I don't want. This isn't part of my job description. I don't want to be the muscle that's trying to collect on, you know, Mr. Randall's freaking lawn that he hasn't paid for in 3 months.
Right.
You know, you should have told us to stop cutting the damn thing, you know?" So basically from day one, from when we started the company, it's just been prepay.
I agree with that too. Solo cuts. I mean, the majority of your clients like getting paid every Friday, obviously from their job, and they would be upset if they didn't get paid that Friday. So, I mean, it's just courtesy on that end. If you are accepting checks or cash, it's kind of the same way. Just don't hold it back, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's still a little bit of there's still a little bit of leeway with a lot of my clients because our we send out on the 25th of the month.
Mm.
That's when invoicing goes out. It's due by the first of the month. But, sometimes, people just don't respond to it.
Right.
And the good thing with YardBook is you could set up, and it's with the paid version though, you could set up automatic reminders. And we'll set up a few automatic reminders saying, hey, it's the first, your stuff's due, please make a payment. And then
It
a
just
couple
makes
days,
it so much simpler on everybody.
yeah. And that's with the prepay stuff. It's like it comes out. The first is due. They'll get a notification, and then they'll say like it's 2 days later. They'll get a notification saying, "Hey, please make this payment by the end of the day," or it might interrupt your service. And then like the third time that they get might be 4 or 5 days later. They'll get one and saying like, "Look, service has been suspended until you make this payment." And
My wife's.
it,
I'll
it,
keep
it
going.
yeah, no, I'm just saying it's really, you got people that drag their feet and everything, but at the same time, it's like, hey, you had it's coming every time this month.
Right.
So if there's people like that going on, like I said, for 2018, we're also getting the credit cards on file so that when it's time to go, it's just bam, we just claim it's the auto pay.
Right.
Um, and get them signed up on that, and it really does work. So it helps us get paid quicker. It helps us keep cash flow going well, and you don't have to chase your money.
Oh yeah,
And
and even I mean I like the idea of the prepay for sure because even on my end, I have a subconscious about thinking outside the box, and I always thinking of it in my clients' terms. To me, it would kind of be annoying getting like a email for service payment every week. Like
sure,
I would rather just go, here's this chunk of money for this month. Let me know when the next one's ready. Instead of just okay, 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 okay.
right. And that's one of the things that it's not even like they get a notification like with the auto pay. It's just once say it's scheduled for Wednesday, they're going to get charged on Wednesday,
Right.
and they'll just get a notification saying, "Hey, your service was completed and
Yep.
your card was charged." So
I agree, man. That's
there
definitely
you
the way
go.
to do it. But man, I don't want to keep you on here forever. I'm sure you got stuff going on, don't you?
Of course, not
You
not
got
really. It's Sunday
you got
night.
stuff.
I gotta. I just gotta put the little one down
Well,
for
man,
bed. But
I
that's
definitely want to make sure you have time to do that for sure. And I definitely appreciate all the guys in here hanging out with me and John while we just sit here and talk shop like we always do on this podcast. 37 people in here right now. I appreciate every single one of you for watching for sure. John, go ahead and tell these guys where they can get a hold of you at. Where's the best place for them to find you?
a lot of times the best place to find me is on Facebook inside a lot of the lawn and landscaping groups.
Yep.
Um, the Lawn Digest, the Lawn Grass Assassins, Yard Book users, things like that. Um, I don't generally add a lot of people anymore to my personal page, but I am active in the Facebook groups. Also, like I said, I don't have my Snap code, but I am available on Snapchat as well.
I'm just running back. My wife wanted to know what I was getting ready to say about her. She was talking about the business, how it goes when she ran her company. She had a cleaning business, a couple employees, talking about the stress of clients not paying or being late paid because she always paid her clients or her workers before she got paid. And that can be very stressful too.
Absolutely. I mean, it's man, that's a whole other conversation right there about just getting paid on
Right.
time. Because I've got a friend of mine out there. We're not going to say his name, but he like right now there's a couple places that actually I should just say one, and they owe him probably close to 10 grand
Yeah,
because
it's
of snow
crazy.
removal. And he's paid for materials, for labor, for everything associated with that service. He's already paid out of pocket for that. So it's like he's chasing money right now since December. It's February. It's going into March. So
See,
he
that would
might
just
not.
give me a horrible pit in my stomach feeling if I had that much money out, man.
Yeah, I mean, 10 grand. I mean,
That's a
some guys are
lot.
going to be like, whatever, but
Not
for
me.
a small or a medium-sized guy, 10 grand's that's a whole lot of money.
I get a sick feeling over $500.
Exactly. And I mean, I know he's probably got between four and $5,000 invested in that. So it's not like I mean, yeah, he's doubled his money in a sense, but he's already shelled out that much money.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like when he's waiting on to be paid for services rendered, it's pretty tight. It's gut wrenching because that 10 grand, it's like, okay, half of that goes to break even, and then it's like, okay, finally we got a little bit of profit here.
For
But then
sure,
the
man.
tax man comes and it's like, ah,
That's all just destroyed. They
yeah.
want to know what your YouTube account is, unless you plan on starting a different one for that, so they can subscribe and get ready for
I
it.
do have my old gravelback mechanic account.
You think that's the one you would want to do stuff on, or what?
There is a Turf Tamer Lawn Care YouTube page, but that's more for uh, my personal business.
Mhm.
The one that you should probably look at for YouTube will be Gravelback Mechanic, because as of right now, until I change and like say maybe I'm like the YardBook guy or whatever it might be,
Yeah.
more than likely I will post to the Gravelback Mechanic YouTube.
I dig that name too, man. Gravelback Mechanic's a pretty cool
Yeah,
name.
Stan Genetic, he yelled at me this year. He's like, "What happened to Gravelback Mechanic?" Because he just saw my name tag saying,
Right.
Tamer Pajak with Turf Tamer Lawn Care. He's like, "Where's Gravelback Mechanic, man? This is such a great name."
I
He's like,
thought
"I
so too,
remember
man.
that name every year," and I'm like, "Yeah,
You got to do stuff.
I gotta like completely retro that channel, so I get out, because I used to do a lot of paintball stuff, and there's still a lot of paintball and DIY stuff on that channel." So
That's actually why I closed my Backlash Fishing and Outdoors channel, because it was linked to so much really old gaming stuff. I was having such a hard time being found in search results, just because YouTube still recognizes me as a different completely channel. So when I post something completely off that topic, it was
yeah,
not found in the search results.
I think that's what I'll have to take everybody's advice, especially yours, Andy, and go ahead and make like a yard book
Dude, it'll
entity.
help you for being found. Absolutely, it'll help you for being found.
Yeah, and it's really not for help me; it's to help everybody else
And that's what I'm
that
saying.
needs.
Because
Yeah,
you can post content all you want on them super old channels. A lot of times, the really good content you're putting out there, these people can't find it to help them.
sure. Yeah, I'll
It's kind
probably
of
have to
sad.
I'll figure out something. I'll have to kind of update you on you know, the yard book issue. So
Oh yeah. But man, let's let John get off here and hang out with his kid for a while before she gets put down to bed. Man, I definitely appreciate you coming out here hanging out with me,
oh,
talking
it's
a little
awesome.
bit of randomness, talking a little bit of yard book, which is a topic I enjoy.
Yeah,
Like you said, guys, you can check him out on Facebook and all those groups. He's in pretty much every single one of them.
you'll find me somewhere.
Heck yeah. We'll definitely do this again, John. I'm going to hit you up again sometime. We'll get you back on a podcast and just talk about some other stuff. I'm sure I'll get some comments of people wanting to hear about different angles from Yard Book, which there was a couple up there that I missed. So,
Absolutely. There's so much we could talk about with just yard book. It's ridiculous. So I look
yeah.
forward to doing it, Andy. So we'll
Hell yeah,
talk to you
man.
soon.
Guys, I appreciate all you for watching. I'm sure John does too. Thanks for listening to the podcast / live video. I don't even know what this is anymore. But I guess I might be getting live with Blake if you guys want to hop over his channel. I don't know how long it's going to be or when it will be, but we might see you guys there. John, I appreciate it again, man.
All right, Andy. We'll catch you soon, brother.